Hey guys, and welcome to SolarWolf's stream / YouTube channel, depending on where you're watching this from. What I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be going ahead and doing a quick tutorial / walkthrough on how to use a plugin called Boss Recoded. Now, this is a plugin that's made by a man named The Helper, and he is going to be releasing a new addition to this plugin pretty soon here, and that's what I'm going to be giving the walkthrough on. Now, Epic Boss is a plugin that allows you to completely and totally customize how your mobs in the game work. You can give them all sorts of special abilities and stuff. I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown on all of that. Now, first thing you do is in your plugins directory in your bucket server, you go ahead and just drop Epic Boss Recoded into that directory, and then you restart your server, and it will open up this folder, or it'll make this folder here. And this is where we're going to start stuff. Now the first file, the options file, which we have here, just has three things under it. The boss title is what's going to show up when you have their health shown to true. When a person hits the boss, it'll give an update on what the health is in their chat, and it'll show this title before the boss name. So we're going to go ahead and just change this real quick to, say, boss health. Percentage is false. Now what this is instead of on hit, it'll only update HP every 10% instead. I like players having a more dynamic feel of seeing the total hit points and how many they're taking down each time, so I keep that to false. Regain health is whether or not bosses will regain health when players are not in range of them. I said that's true. Save it and upload it. Now what I've done is I've made a brand new world for this one. The only plugin that's on this is Epic Boss Recoded. And we're going to go ahead and add some bosses in now. Show you how to make them, and then I'll show you how to have them replace default spawns as well. So now, his website, thehelper.com, is a great place. Just click on, or mouse over Epic Boss Recoded and go to guides.database, and this will have a description of most of the stuff I'm going to show you, plus a lot more. I'm not going to go over all the details of everything that's currently listed here. And hello to Finbar in the stream, how's it going? Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to open bosses.yml. Here we have test bosses and whatnot. We're going to go ahead and get rid of all this and just start from the base. Now, spacing and capitalization and stuff like that is very important in YML files. That goes for any plugin you use. This one's no exception. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make a boss called demonstration. I'm going to set the type of the boss to a zombie. Health to 1,000. Show HP to true, damage to 4, and then skills. Now, skills, which are covered over here, are one of the best parts of Epic Boss Recoded. There are all sorts of unique skills that you can do, and it'll give you the format under this page for how to do each one of them. First thing we're going to do is we're going to have them do a message when spawned, so it's a boss message. We're going to have the radius be the whole server, which is 0. Otherwise, if you specify another number like 25, it'll be every player within 25 blocks that sees it. We're going to have it be a server-wide message, and then after that you put the string. Now here you can use bucket color codes. So and2, I believe, is green. We'll have the boss name, which you can specify boss or player name with a $sign followed by boss underscore or player underscore. If you put an @ after boss, that'll be a colon in-game. So we're going to have the boss say, I am here. Now instead of spaces, you need to use underscores for these parts. Very important. He's going to do it at 1,000 health. This part is either equal to, greater than, less than, or between. Now with between, we would do 1000-0, for instance. High health first, low health afterwards. But for this one, we're just going to do equal 1000, so he does it when he spawns. The next is the chance of spawning is what you're going to go ahead and put next. We're going to give the boss a 100% chance of spawning this boss message at 1,000 health. And the way the percentages work is 1 is 100%, so 0.01 is 1%, 0.5 is 50%. So we're going to do 100% here for this boss message. And then we'll give him a couple other abilities, like a throw ability, which will toss players up into the air. We'll do every player within 25 blocks, and the next is the strength. And a little bit difference in strength is huge. If we do 1.8, this will give you guys a great example of how high he'll throw you up with a small number. I recommend doing between 0.8 and 1.4 to 1.6, like at the most, unless you really want people to take a lot of falling damage. And we're going to have him do this at, we'll say, between 999 and 1 health. And give him a 0.2 for a 20% chance to do it. Now, with abilities like throw and teleport and stuff like that, don't just do greater than 0, because when he first spawns in, it counts him as, for some reason, taking damage at the very first part. So if you have it greater than 0, every time he spawns in, he'll do that ability automatically. For teleports and throws and stuff, it's really important that you don't actually have it just be greater than something. I highly recommend using something like this, where it's between 999 and 1 health. Also, back to the topic of capitalization and whatnot, type, health, show HP, damage, and skills are all capitalized. The type name here, on the other hand, is not. Never capitalize the monster name or it will error out on you. Okay, and then go ahead, show you a potion boss effect. Now, potion boss effect is a potion that affects the boss. Now, the first thing you do is you put the type, and this one has to be all caps. We're going to go ahead and give him a speed potion. Next is the duration of it. Now, if you want a boss to have a speed potion affecting the whole time, just do like 6 nines. It'll stay on him forever. And it is counted in seconds, by the way. And then the next is the level. We want him to be insanely fast, so we're going to give him a level 6 speed potion. This will happen when he has 1,000 health, 100% chance. So right away when he spawns, he's going to have a huge speed potion. The last effect we're going to show you real quick is the, or one of the last two, is the swarm. Now, swarm you can do either monsters, regular monsters, or have it swarm bosses. To have it swarm bosses, put your $sign in and then the boss name, which we're going to make a little sub-boss called Swarm real quick. And then you put the number that you want. Like, we'll say we wanted to swarm 3 of these, and we're going to want him to do that once he's at 900 health, 100% chance. And then we'll do another swarm. And the way this one will do is, when he's at less than 900 health, we'll give him a 10% chance to do the same swarm that he did automatically at 900. So that's 10% chance on hit to do that. Next thing we're going to show you is command. Now, command can be really useful because you can do anything with it. Any type of console command that you can insert, you can do here. So, for instance, if you wanted to have a boss summon swarms or other bosses at a specific spot, the timers command in-game is a great way to do this. As long as you make the bosses beforehand and set the locations beforehand, you can make a new timer. We'll call this one boss from location A, and we tell that timer which boss to do, what location to do it in, and then the time. And the time works hours, minutes
No,
and
thanks.
seconds.
I am. Is it awesome? Rear view camera standard.
And we're going to have this timer start
Than any other brand.
at 1,000 health, 100% chance to make sure that it happens. And what this will do is every 15 seconds after they die, it will spawn another swarm from the location named location. So this is timer name, boss name, location name, amount of time for the EB timers command. And then we want to make sure that timer doesn't keep going on after the boss fight, so we need to add another command in here. EB timers remove timer name equals 0, so once he's at 0 health, 100% chance. I actually like doing once he's at 1 health, 100% chance, just so it doesn't go off one more time after he's dead, because sometimes that'll happen. So now we have 2 commands put in, one to start a timer at the beginning of the fight, and the other one removes the timer at the end of the fight to make sure that timer doesn't keep going on. Really useful way to be able to specify bosses coming in from a specific area. Last category is his drops. Now the drops work off item codes. 397 is a head. For that head, we'll go ahead and do head 0. First number is the damage value. If you don't have a damage value to put, you have to put in 0. Second number is the amount. Third one is where he's equipping it. 4 is the head slot, 3 is chest, 2 is legs, 1 is feet, and 0 is hand. We're going to go ahead and have this zombie wearing a skeleton head on his head, so we're going to keep it as a 4. Then you put a space, and the next number after that is the percentage of a chance for it to drop when the boss dies. We're going to go ahead and make this one a 90% chance to drop it. Next thing after that you can do is add a name into it, or add enchants, sorry. For enchants, they all have to be capitalized. We can go ahead and reference the guide here and look at enchantment types. We're going to give this one protection environment, which is the standard protection enchant. And we're going to make the environment protection on it a 4. We'll make it a 1. And then a comma, and we'll also give it fire protection of 2. So that's how you add multiple enchants. You just put a comma in between. Always make sure that your enchants are spelled right and that they're capitalized. Next thing after that you can do is name the item if you want it to have a unique name. You can also use color codes here, so we'll be like, and for Boss's Head, this item will now be named Boss's Head. That's one thing I forgot. To make your boss name stand out more and whatnot, you know, up here we did the and 2 for that color. Change the second color to something else so that your boss's name will be different than the actual text color that you're using. So now we have our very first boss set up, but in here we're referencing another boss, Swarm, so we need to make sure that one's set up too. So we'll make Swarm real quick. They don't have anything special, so they'll be easy. We're gonna make them zombie babies, which by the way, the full list of mob types is right here. You can use any of these. I've even made like a chicken boss and stuff like that. You can do just about anything you want with this. We're gonna make it a zombie baby with 1 health. We don't want it to show HP because it's only got 1 health, so we don't care. And we just want it to be annoying, so it's only gonna do 1 damage. Now we don't want any skills or drops off this one, so we can leave everything else blank. So all we're gonna do is just have these settings right here. Save your file and upload it. Now we referenced a location here named location, so we need to go ahead and go make that in the game. So we're gonna go ahead, EB location, add location. And location has been set. Now, right now we can spawn that boss into the game. EB boss spawn demonstration location. EB boss spawn boss name location name. Oh, first EB reload because that boss isn't loaded into the game yet. After it's reloaded, then you can spawn that boss in the game. As you can see, he spawns in and says, "Demonstration, I am here," just like we programmed him to. And now every time we hit him, he has a chance to do that throw up. Now that was the value that I showed you. As you can see, he launched me way into the air. Let's go ahead and equip a diamond sword real quick so we can get some of his other abilities to start. Right when he started that 15-second spawn timer. So from his base location, every time one of them dies, 15 seconds later, one of those mobs is going to start over there. As you can see, that throw up is really high. Now he just spawned 3 minions. So we know that everything we programmed into our boss works just fine. We don't really want to finish testing it, so you do EV, boss, kill all. We'll kill all bosses in the game. So that's the basic way to... Oh, and since we killed him, he didn't actually hit 0 health. His timer's still there, so EV, timers, remove, what do we name it? Timer name. So now that timer's been removed, so they won't continue to spawn. So now we've tested our boss, we know it works, just like we put it into the game. So the next thing to do, to show you guys how to do, is how to do replacement spawns. Now, this is a new thing in the new version of Epic Boss Recoded, and this is under spawning.yml. I'm going to go ahead and go under here. And the way this works is you replace default spawns in your world. Like, we have our boss name, demonstration. We want him to replace creepers, zombies, skeletons, endermen. We're going to give him a 100% chance just so we can see it in the world name and what biome you want it in. Now, it is very important for biomes that they are all capped or they will not work. The only exception to that is all, which means you want it to replace mobs in all biomes, in which case you keep it all lowercase or it won't work. So we go ahead and save that, upload it. Reload. Look around for monsters. This better not be on base difficulty. Oh, and when you change spawning, you actually have to reload the server as well. And why are you not spawning mobs? I think I know why it's not spawning mobs. This is actually, yeah. I was doing some testing and didn't want a bunch of stuff earlier, so we're gonna go ahead and just settle those to 500 real quick for limits. Monster tick to 1, animals to 400. I believe that's how it is in default. And then we'll restart our server instead of just reloading it quick. Ignore that message. Now we'll log back in and see that our spawn replacements are not working. So this is a full fail here I'm trying to show you. Okay. Check our console for error messages. Oh, that's why. Wrong world name. Okay, now new mobs that spawn in are going to be the right type. There's a lot of mobs in right now, and I don't have essentials, so I don't have the kill all command, but everyone that spawned in is the right type. So every time we kill any of the old ones, it will replace it with the new ones. Now, as you can see, this is a ton of mobs that are in the game. There's a lot of stuff you can do to adjust the amount of mobs that you have. Biggest one of those is in the bucket YML. Going through and changing the ticks per. Like if we change our ticks per monster spawn, I think on my server I have it up to 200 ticks per monster spawn. It greatly adjusts how quickly they spawn. Now if you want a variety of monsters that spawn, I'm going to go ahead and make another one here real quick. You want to start with your lower percentages first. So if you want 50% of your mobs to be demonstration and 50% to be swarm, you put your first one at 50%, you put your second one at 100%. That 100% will make sure that no other mobs other than the ones you want are the new ones that spawn in. Shut down my server. Give it a second. Go on, finish reloading. Oh. It's gonna be a pain, so we're gonna go ahead and restart Minecraft real quick. Stuff like this will always happen whenever it is that you're planning on trying to do any type of streams or anything like that. Everything that can go wrong will. And why are you still giving me an error? Oh, because it was just being dumb. Alright, so our demonstration mobs are working fine. Go ahead and set it to peaceful real quick.
Geico says,
Try to get rid of the mobs
let's
that
make
way.
life simpler.
Look, I'm all for modern conveniences, but ask yourself, do you really need a blender with 23 buttons just to chop an onion? At Geico, we think
We're
life
still
should be
having some
simple,
problem with our
so we
spawns.
make
Let's
it
go ahead and
super
see if we
simple
have
to
any
save on car
console
insurance.
errors to know if we did
Just
anything
one
wrong.
click, and you could be on your way to saving hundreds. Come on, people. Life doesn't have to
Okay,
be
so we
that
did
complicated.
do something wrong. So let's go ahead and check our
15
files
minutes
real
could
quick.
save you 15% or more on car insurance.
And that's what we did wrong. Spelling makes a huge difference. Okay. Set it back to night. And now, when mobs spawn in, 50% of them will be these little guys here. The other 50% should be the other ones, assuming we don't have any more errors here. Oh, we still have the timer set line in the boss, so we'll go ahead and fix that real quick. Going to get rid of his timers that he added, since we're making him a world boss now. It will error out and not allow you to spawn in the boss if you have it setting a timer that already exists. So don't combine the two of those things. Now, we don't have him replacing spiders, but as you can see, all the other mobs are being replaced by the bosses that we set in. And that's how you work spawning. They will have the boss abilities that we set them. Each one will count as the boss that we told it to. So 9 million things knocking us up into the air when they take damage. Keeps track of each of their health separately. And everything works exactly like we wanted it to. If you have any questions or anything like that about unique type of things that you can do with the bosses, special ways to use their abilities or anything like that, use the helper support forums. I'll be checking in there all the time and have no problem giving advice to people. So there you go, you guys now have seen exactly how to use the plugin, how to use the spawning aspect of it, which is the newest thing that's been added in. Now for the spawning, as far as biomes go, like I said, all biome names need to be capitalized, and if you have one like Forest Hills that you're trying to do, use an underscore for the space between the words. And that will conclude our little tutorial here on how to use Epic Boss Recoded. Hope you guys enjoyed watching and learned something from it. Thanks for tuning in, and catch you.